A man's mouth was forcibly pried open. Then a large amount of cash was stuffed into his mouth. The bills were shoved in until they blocked his throat. He eventually suffocated to death. $17 million in cash was scattered across the scene. He had earned this money illegally by distributing child pornography. He had previously been arrested by the police and sent to prison. However, because he married a foreign woman while in prison, the court sentenced him to only 1 year in prison. On the day of his release, a large crowd of angry citizens gathered outside the prison to protest. Not only did this man show no remorse, but he actually shouted insults at the crowd. He claimed he had done nothing wrong. What was even more infuriating was that very night after his release, he immediately resumed his criminal activities. This time, having learned from his previous arrest, he shifted his focus to defenseless children left behind by working parents. Thinking of the quick fortune he would make, he couldn't help but smirk with satisfaction. Since the law could not punish him, he decided to let the people deliver true justice. That very night, mobile phones across South Korea simultaneously received a mysterious text message. The message contained only 6 words: National Death Penalty Vote. The subject of the vote was the very man who had been released from prison that afternoon. The judge exposed all his crimes. Through the distribution of child pornography, he had illegally profited over 20 billion won. The victimized girls had all suffered severe harm. The judge placed this man's life or death in the hands of the nation's citizens to decide. As long as the votes in favor of the death penalty exceeded 50%, he would face judgment. Within just a few minutes, the votes in favor of the death penalty had already reached 26%. At that moment, the man was indulging in pleasure in a private room. Upon seeing the poll results on his phone, he looked down on them with disdain. He even urged the people around him to vote for his execution.
야, 내도 찍어 찬성.
오빠 그러다 진짜 사형되면
야, 내가 강간을 했냐, 애들을 죽였냐? 병신 새끼들이. 야, 찬성해. 찬성. 사형. 사형. 야, 사형. 씨. 야, 죽여봐. 죽일 수 있으면 죽여봐. 사형, 사형.
The final vote was 84% in favor of the death penalty.